What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. We got to talk a little New Orleans Saints. As New Orleans Saints, I think, could only be described as trailblazers. Taking a failed coach from the past,
right,
a defensive coordinator, and deciding to give them their second chance. And look, there's a great quote about precedents that I love that I won't bore you with because it's a little long and windy. But basically, what it gets into, right, is no path that works out for one person can be deemed too base for another. And so after watching the success of the New Orleans Saints the last 2 years, the Falcons knew they had to jump on it. They had to look and learn, and Terry Fontenot knew, okay, what did my old master do? Okay, I'm going to do that same thing. And so Bill Belichick shows up. They say, not so fast, Bill. We bring in Raheem Morris. That's right. Raheem Morris, the new head coach in Atlanta. If you don't know who Raheem Morris is, he was the Tampa Bay Bucs head coach at a very young age. It did not go well, and then he's been, floating around, kind of earning this second chance. So some Dennis Allen similarities here in the hire from a resume standpoint. Yeah. You know what's kind of dumb? I actually really like the hire, and I want to talk about it more, but it's impossible not to get these jokes off when you look at them basically hiring the same thing like the way the Saints did.
And even like Dennis Allen spending so much time as an assistant in the organization right now.
Yes.
Because Morris did as well. Then he left, and then he went to L.A.
Didn't they fire him 2 years ago?
But no, he was the interim head coach. They just didn't hire him.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay.
And he interviewed for the head coaching job at that time. And I saw him on the pivot with Ryan Clark, and he was talking about, look, I love the Atlanta this is before he gets the job, obviously. Yesterday. He's like, I love the Atlanta Falcon organization. Arthur Blank is somebody that's treated me very well. We are, I consider him, somebody that's close to me. He's like, I've been in his vacation homes, like all these things. He's like, you know what? I interviewed for it. I felt like I should have got the job, and I didn't. But I don't hold any ill will towards them. And now you come back just a couple of months later, and he is the head coach. Like, he was on both sides of the football in Atlanta when he was an assistant. He was a receivers coach, and then he obviously became the defense coordinator, and then he was the interim head coach as well. So, he has a history with the organization, and for whatever reason didn't get the job a couple of years ago. So, but this is something where they've had, kind of like Dennis Allen, they've had a long-standing relationship that's worked well when he's been an assistant.
Well, and also to be clear, I think I don't judge Raheem Morris in the same way that I tried. I gave Dennis Allen a chance to prove me wrong, right? I will afford Raheem Morris the same opportunity because he was young when he had that head coaching opportunity, Jake. And you know how you sometimes have random teams that stick out in your mind? Mm-hmm. That Tampa Bay Bucs team that he had in year 2 from 2010, I don't know why that team is burned into my brain.
Was Josh Freeman the quarterback of that team?
And he was awesome. They went 10-6. They didn't make the playoffs, got very unlucky, but they went 10-6 with a 34-year-old head coach. It looked like the Bucs were going to be awesome forever. They were 3-13 year 1.
Yeah.
Then they go 10-6. You have 22-year-old Josh Freeman, who completed 61% of his passes for 3,500 yards. Boys, 25 touchdowns to 6 picks. They were awesome. They were going to be good forever. And then it just all completely fell apart. 4-12. Randomly, after going 10-6 out of nowhere. A 34-year-old head coach, 22-year-old quarterback. It had to be such an exciting time. And I'll never forget at the time a story where Raheem Morris talked about he learned football from playing Madden in college. Which I was like, hell yeah, dude. Who can't relate to that? He was the people's champ there for a minute, and then he had to disappear, and so he's earned his way back up. So, look, I'm being tongue-in-cheek about the Allen stuff. I think this could work out for Atlanta, and I think it actually does take balls to go with Morris over a Bill Belichick and not just get blinded by the resume and choosing the guy that you think is going to be best for the franchise. And maybe it's the guy that you thought you could control more. Sure, there's always that as well. But I'll tell you this. I think I like Raheem Morris better than Dave Canales, the new Panthers head coach. Though I think that's less about Canales and more about Dave Tepper. I just don't know if I can trust his decision making at all.
This is, you talk about a fast rise. It kind of reminds me of the Brandon Staley rise that he had through Bears, Broncos, Rams organization. Then he becomes the head coach of the Chargers. This one, it seems pretty early in his career to get this opportunity. But like I was telling Taylor during the break, they offer you 6 years. He got a 6-year contract to be the head coach of an NFL franchise. Even if you feel like you're not ready or maybe it's not the right situation, let's be honest, every single one of us would take that.
Yeah, you got it. Now, it is weird, though, right? Because we're still blaming Raheem Morris for the sins of when he was 33 and 34. We did the same thing with Allen. So if it goes really poorly, it can take a long time to climb back up. But, yeah, you can't say no, you know? It's a literal offer you can't refuse, and if you do, it may never come again. And you got to be terrified because you're working for David Tepper. So those 6 years might as well be a year and a half, if that. But but you got to go for it.
The head coaches right now currently in the NFC South. Just think about where you're
All-stars, legends. Dennis Allen.
Let's see.
Raheem Morris.
Three of the
Dave
four.
Canales.
3 of the 4 have been fired as an NFL head coach.
Todd Bowles. Run it back, baby. Let's run it back. Look, I believe in second chances. I'm not
saying you don't give them a second chance, but I don't know that you'd find many divisions that would have 3 of the 4 that had an opportunity, failed pretty miserably, and then they get another opportunity.
We're going off meta in the NFC South, boys. Everybody else is zigging. We're zagging.
It's like sicko committee stuff in the NFC South.
We sitting here,
which I'm okay with.
Look, that's the equivalent of running the wishbone, Jake.
That's what
fullbacks to a man.
Well, no, you couldn't have a fail rate in the wishbone and still be part of the wishbone. But I understand what you're trying to say.
I'm just saying nobody runs the wishbone anymore. Nobody rehires fired coaches in the NFC South. We do, Bo. Got to keep this thing wide open.
I will say this, and I'm not trying to throw too much shade on all these coaches getting opportunities, but how about the Bush League Bolts feeling like they won the offseason so far?
Congratulations.
They made the move that you feel really good about. I'm not speaking in absolutes here. It might not work, but not often. And y'all let me have this moment, please. Do I get a chance to say, you know what? The Bolts probably did the best thing out there.
Guess what, guys? The New Orleans Saints are the favorites again. Right? Who should be the favorites to win the NFC South?
Well, the Bucs still have a lot of situations as far as
they got a ton of free
personnel.
Agents. Yeah, a ton of free agents.
Yeah, they got it. So Baker, Mike Evans, Devin White, Levante David, and their kicker Chase McLaughlin are the big free agents. Yeah. I think they're letting Devin White walk because I don't think they can re-sign him.
Devin's not going back to them either.
Yeah.
With the way Kenny Brennan ended up taking his spot.
Well, and then it was either Baker or Evans the other day. We're basically like, we're a package deal. Like if I'm coming back, the other guy's coming back too. So they're gonna have to re-sign both of those guys.
Well, and Baker sucks. This is just like a 1-year fun thing.
Yeah.
Most probably. So yeah, Saints favorites again. Raheem Morris, Todd Bowles, Dave Canales.
Wait, don't start throwing all these different ones. Now you're gonna mess up my brain.
Yeah, Canales. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the 2 guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.